Alright folks, we're here today to talk about Shakur Stevenson and his counter-punching, his footwork a little bit as well. And so let's get right into a very short video here. And if you guys haven't watched my video on the long lead sword or the long lead hand of Shakur, go ahead and watch that too. Very informative video right there. Alright, so let's get right into it. The first one I want to talk about is the front foot stop. Basically what he does here is when he steps back, he doesn't lean on the back foot, you know, like a Adrian Broner or like a Floyd Mayweather. And what does that enable him to do? That enables him to put a lot of power on his counter shots. Alright, so if you look at this, when he steps back, he doesn't lean back all the way. He doesn't put his upper body back right there. He actually stays on the front foot. He actually leans forward, and that allows him right here to counter with power, to counter on the front foot, and to be balanced as he does it. So look at this once again. Bam. Alright, let's look at another one. Front foot stop. When he steps back, he stops on that front leg. And you saw that example there. He was able to counter with a jab of his own. Bam. Okay? Look at that once again. Step back, stop on that front leg, and then again, keeping his knees bent. Step back here. Look at that once again. Step back. And then he's going to stop right on that front foot. Boom. With his knees bent. That allows him to what? Load up as he counters. You know, he doesn't stay on the back foot and he doesn't lean back, because what does that do? That puts you in a defensive position, and you cannot really put a lot of power on your shots when you're in that position. Okay? Front foot stop. So from those front foot stops, so let's now look at the counters that he does off of that. So the first one, or no, this is not going to be the counter, this is going to be the jab. As you can see, he throws his jab with his elbows out, flared out. Okay? Nakathila will try to land his jab, and then Stevenson will throw his flared out jab right here, sticking his elbows out. And the reason why he does that is pretty simple. He's trying to land it on the side of the face, and so by throwing it with your elbows out, you can actually throw it downwards instead of straight. So he's throwing it downwards and he's throwing it, he's trying to follow it through. If you want to follow through your jab, this is what you have to do. You have to flare your elbows out. So it's more of a pushing jab right here, not much of a snapping one. And then what does that enable him to do? Again, that allows him to follow through the shot. That allows him to put a lot of follow through on that jab. So again there, instead of throwing it like a snap, like a George Kambosos or like a Manny Pacquiao, who throws it like a pushing punch. And that allows him to put more power in it. Although it's not going to be as fast, there's definitely more weight on that because he knows how to follow through. Alright, the next one I want to talk about is the lead rear hook. Again, because his opponents are so busy in watching out for this flared out jab that he has, what does that do? They're forced to lean more on this side, so I'm going to put an arrow here. They're going to lean on that side, and that's going to open them up for the lead rear hook of Shakur Stevenson. And so because their body's right there, they have a more tendency to get caught with that lead rear hook. But Nakathila did a pretty good job here of slipping over to the left side, and so that's why he was able to get out of line for that lead rear hook, and he was able to defend himself. Again, lead rear hook here because they're so busy and watching out for the jab of Shakur Stevenson. Again, they're going to stay on that bladed stance. They're going to stay more on the right side, and that's going to bring them closer to the rear hook of Shakur Stevenson, as you can see there. Okay? And that's why also, if you can see, Shakur Stevenson does a lot of probing. He does a lot of fencing around. He does a lot of soft jabs in order to bring their opponent, or in order to bring his opponent to the right side. And then when he finds the right timing, when he finds the right time to do it, he's going to throw his lead rear hook right there. And it's going to land right on the chin. So again here, as you can see, what does he start off with? He starts off by probing, right? He's going to probe. And that's going to force his opponent to get lazy, and by getting lazy right there, leans more on the front foot, boom, he gets caught with a lead rear hook. Again, sticking out that lead hand, forcing his opponent to stay out of the center by leaning more on the right side, and that opens up the right side of his face in the process of doing that. So very good strategy by Shakur Stevenson. Alright, last technique here. Again, this is going to be a little bit shorter because, you know, I've already talked about this in a past video. or in my previous video, so just go ahead and check it out. The next one is going to be the short cross, basically when his opponent throws the right hand. I already talked about this in my long lead hand video, but this is going to be more of a film study kind of format. So he throws a short cross as his opponent decides to overcommit on that right hand. And what makes it different is, again, it's shorter and it's tight, okay? So you can get it off quicker and you can land it right on the chin of your opponent because they're down there. So it's much lower and it is much quicker than a regular cross. So again, short cross here. Let's see where that happens. He's gonna step back once again and then throw the, now that's the lead rear hook. Alright, so here's the short cross. He's gonna overcommit it with the right hand here. Now that's actually not the right hand. He's gonna come in with a jab. And so this is also useful if your opponent comes in with a jab and you're just trying to push them away. So as you can see there, he just throws the cross pretty short. And then his opponent is gonna be off balance. And so that's also one way of using it. You can use it to just get your opponent out of balance and then disrupt the rhythm as they come in. So that's another purpose of the short cross by Shakur Stevenson. So that was it. Subscribe if you're new. Great future by Shakur. I think he beats a lot of opponents at lightweight, you know. At first I wasn't impressed by this kid, but after those wins against Oscar Valdez and after those wins against Jamil Herring, I started to become, you know, a little more, I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but he got my respect, alright? He got my respect. So that was it. I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.